Hello, you beautiful fire sign person, you. Welcome to your spring equinox energy update with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. So these readings are for you if you are a sun, moon or ascendant fire sign of Aries, Leo or Sagittarius. And so what we're going to be looking at here is the energy that you're welcoming in, that you want to be working towards and moving ahead with in spring and over the next sort of 3 months, and what you are releasing and what you need to let go of in this moment or at this time. And then we are going to pull a key to the time for the next 3 months, and then we're going to also look at the human design oracle card as well. So let's get into it. Before we start though, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you all on your paths to your highest vibrational good. So for your should I say for Aries, let's have a look, see what you, if I don't chuck them all over the place. This is you, right? This is your season that we are about to enter on the 21st of March. So it seems totally fitting that we would start with you, especially in the time of spring. So let's get into it. For the card of what you are welcoming in, moving towards, and should be focusing on at this moment in time, you have the Seven of Cups. Now I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, but isn't that a bit of an iffy card? Well, what does it say? It says that you want to take the time to focus on looking at all of your options. This is about really being present in the moment and asking yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that you need? And more importantly, what is already available to you? This is about making the best of what you already have and being selective with those things. So the energy that you want to work with, that you want to bring into your scope or into life over the course of the next 3 months through the season of spring, you want to welcome in this idea that you have everything that you need at your disposal, and you have maybe even more options than you actually need. This is a time to be open to possibilities. This is a time to be open to all of the different avenues that are available to you at this moment in time. And in that regard, this can be a very positive card. The other thing as well, it always suggests that you have the power to envision something. So yes, it can be fantasy, but on the positive or the on the blessing side of the energy of this card, it can literally mean that you have the power to create anything that you can envision in your mind, right? So this is a time to really start to work out and flex those muscles when it comes to your visualization skills. For the energy of what you are releasing and what you need to let go of over the course of spring, you have the Fool card, right? So I know it's Aries season. I know the sun is coming into your sign, and you know this is the kickoff of spring. And I know all of us in some way, shape or form, especially over the last 12 months, right? We've all been held back, subdued in some way, shape or form. And the Fool card, you know, when it comes up in its lesson aspect, you know, the part of us that is unconscious, this can literally see us being haphazard. It can see us jumping in without really stopping to think what it is that we might need to be doing, more importantly what it is that we are actually doing. This is one of those one of the taglines for this card is rushing in where angels fear to tread, and this doesn't suggest that anything that you're going to do is bad. It just what it's really asking you to do, to be completely honest with you, is to slow down. This is not about knee-jerk reactions. This is about consciously building, envisioning what it is that you truly want from your life and taking your time with it. Because if you rush in like the Fool, you can literally be the Fool, right? You've got no idea what you're doing. It's just like, yeah, you know what, this feels good, and go for it. This would be like wherever you live, I'm sure you have a subway. Here in the UK, we call it the tube. And unless you really know where you're going, you can't just jump straight onto a train. You have to kind of look where you're going, and it's like, right, okay, I need this line, I need this line. When you're seasoned, when you really know what you're doing, then you can do it quickly. But at the moment, especially when it comes to any form of a new venture, this would not be the time for you to just jump in without any sort of plan. This is the time to envision what you want, Take the time. Don't be foolhardy. Don't be haphazard. This is a time where you need to take this next 3 months to really start to build and envision what it is that you want to welcome into your life. So for Leos, let's have a look at what's coming up for you. What is it that you are welcoming in over the course of spring? What is it that you need to be aware of? What is it that you should be working towards? And you get the Nine of Wands. All right, so this is interesting. You see how the challenging cards are coming up as what is the energy that you're welcoming in, but what is the Nine of Wands as well? The Nine of Wands is asking you, Leo, over the course of spring to really get into this idea that it's okay to express your vulnerability. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what, me, Leo? There's no such thing. But absolutely there is. And, you know, this is one of those times. The spring is going to show you, Leo, where you can demonstrate that having vulnerability and owning that vulnerability can become your greatest strength. This is the moment where you can kind of say, yes, you know what? I am going to admit that maybe I don't know everything that I need to know. Maybe I don't have all the resources that I need, not necessarily financially, just across the board. You know, this is about admitting that, okay, something is not necessarily functioning at the level that I would like it to, but that doesn't mean that it can't. And you know what? This kind of feels like as well, the message here is by opening it up and saying, look, you know what, this is what I don't have. I'm not sure on this. It actually tells me that the troops are then going to rally behind you. What is the Nine of Wands? Aside from everything else that he is, the Nine of Wands is also a soldier who's a little bit beat up from the journey that he's taken. Let's face it. But this tells me that what is a soldier? A soldier is a part of a larger whole. And this tells me that over the course of the next 3 months, by admitting these vulnerabilities, people are going to say, wow, you know what? Not only are you human, but you're even more likable for it. And more importantly, let me help you with what it is that you don't, what it is that you feel like you might not necessarily have a total handle on. I actually really like this for Leos. So, you know, don't shoot it out and don't shoot it down and don't throw it out. And then what we're releasing is the Wheel of Fortune. So you see how the challenging cards have come up in the, you know, what we're welcoming in, and the cards of blessings, let's say, are the things that we're phasing out. Now, what this tells me is the Wheel of Fortune is basically suggesting that over the course of spring, over the next 3 months, you are releasing this idea that it's all down to luck. This is really going to show you, you know what, I'm not, you know, and I say this not even delicately actually, because I know a lot of Leos and I'm also a Leo ascendant. This is going to show you that you're not cursed, that the universe isn't against you. This is going to highlight to you where you no longer need to rely on luck, where you don't need to tell yourself, oh, well, you know, I guess the luck's just not there for it. Wherever you've convinced yourself that the universe is working against, flowing against your own personal stream, you can release that now. You can let it go. This is the time. Over these next 3 months, you're really going to come into this understanding that that is what you're letting go of. And by admitting this vulnerability, you are literally going to switch the energy, because once the Wheel of Fortune turns, it turns, and it turns again, right? So this is whatever you've been experiencing up until this moment, it's about to break. And I actually really like this. I think for a lot of Leos as well, there has been a lot of energy where it's like you've had to be strong. It's like, I just have to get through it. No matter what happens, no matter what comes up, I just have to get through it. And it's like, I'll deal with how I feel about it all later. Well, that energy is going away now, and you can finally come into that space of saying, actually, you know what? Yeah, I think I need a little bit of help with some things here. You know, this could be anything from hiring an assistant right through to right through to getting, you know, maybe letting somebody help you in any sort of way, a practical way, maybe in an emotional way, maybe even in a financial way for some people. This is about being open to the help that you need, and it's about expressing the need while it is there. I like this. I actually really like this a lot. And then finally, last but definitely not least, you beautiful Saggy people, what you're welcoming in is the Five of Swords, right? So, and I've seen this a lot for Saggies actually. It's like, for the longest time, the worst thing that you can do for a Saggy is to silence them or sit them still. Those two things, really, it's really hard for Saggies to deal with that. And, you know, my heart goes out to, sorry to mention it, but my heart goes out to Britney Spears. The whole experience that she's going through is just insane. I literally could not even imagine. And you know, I'm definitely on that train. Free Britney when the time comes, man. Anyway, outside of that, what you're welcoming in is the Five of Swords. This is you getting your voice back, right? In some way, shape or form. And you know, again, a challenging card is what we're welcoming in. Does this mean that spring is going to be hard and challenging and awful for all of the fire signs? No, it means that you're going to meet those challenges and you will have the energy that you need to meet those challenges, and you're going to make something of it, which I'm really, really chuffed about. For you, Saggies, what this is telling me is you are, and I mean this in the best way, but you're ready to go to war for something. You are ready to have that tough conversation. You're ready to speak your truth, to open your mind. The only thing that I want to say, and you are known for this in the zodiac, it's one of the buzzwords that people mention, you can be a little bit overzealous, right? And the only thing that I want to say to you with the Five of Swords, this is you coming into your own again. It's coming out of that really weird space that you guys have been in for a while, and this is you finding your voice, speaking your truth and standing up. And it's like, if I need to go to war for this, I will do it. I'm there, you know, I'm absolutely there. The only thing that I always give as a warning with the Five of Swords, you don't want your message to lose its potency because of the way that you deliver it, right? If you come in and you're dropping facts, but you're like, and effing this and rah, 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 like, even if what you say is 100% on point, most people will switch off because of the way that it's coming across. Whereas if you come in and you drop those facts, you know, strong, confident, clear, but and not messing around, but in a way that is, you know, relatively calm, that's when you get people to really, you know, silence themselves and listen to what you have to say. You know, there is something to be said for that. Don't let your message get lost in translation. All right, you've got everything that you need behind you. Now it's time for you to put it out in a way that people are really going to take on board. And then for what you're releasing, the Nine of Cups. I know the fire signs out there right now, like, what the hell, Raph? And again, right, what is this? This is wish fulfillment, right? But it's healing as well. And what this tells me is what you're releasing over the course of spring is this idea that you have to wait for the right time, that the stars have to align and a beam of light has to come down from the sky. You're letting go of this idea that all the conditions have to be perfect. This is you opening up to the fact that this is what I have, this is what I'm going to use, and this is how I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to work with what I have, and I'm going to start with where I am. This is beautiful, right? In a lot of ways, I think this is wonderful. And I think for a lot of all of the fire signs, you know, the fact that you've got a challenging card as what's coming in, this suggests to me that you are meeting the challenge, that you are rising to that challenge. And I know a lot of you are probably out there thinking, you know, I know I know a lot of you are out there at the moment. I can literally hear it in my mind. And it's like, yeah, well, I feel slightly inadequate to what the wheel keeps dishing out, Rafi. And I hear you to a point, but you're not. And the fact that you have these messages and that they've come up this way, this tells me that you are meeting these challenges head on, and more importantly, you are winning. Hashtag winning, which I absolutely love. So yeah, don't, you know, and again, you know, yes, the stars being in the right place and having all the right energy, it matters. It really does matter. But what matters even more is that you say, you know what, regardless of what comes at me, I can and I will get through this. All right. So just trust that. And more importantly, trust yourself. So your key to the springtime and what you might need to be aware of as an overarching energy or theme is the Death card. This is time, right? It's time for you to release something. It's time for you to let something go. And it's time for you to be okay in that space, to really say to yourself, okay, you know what? I'm okay with this going away. I'm okay with this thing, this connection, this person, whatever it is, right? This is you being in the space where you're okay to allow something to come to its natural conclusion. Why? Because what follows death is rebirth. What follows the Death card actually in the tarot is literally the Temperance card. This is the peace and the beauty and the realization that comes after something has come to an end. It's that moment where you can take a rest. So the fact that you have the Death card here as the Spring, don't let this put you off. Don't let it freak you out. This is the end of whatever challenges, issues or problems you've had up until this point, and meeting the new challenges. And that's all they are, right? We go through this in life. We go through new challenges. Every time we solve one problem, something else comes up. And, you know, it's going to be that way until we go on to learn the final secret, basically, you know, of what it's all about, what it's all been about. And the way that I see this, especially with the Death card, it's like the old challenges, the old issues, those are done. And the new things that are coming in, yes, they may be challenges. Yes, they might be things that you need to work on or through at this moment in time, but you are meeting them head on, and you have everything that you need in order to make that happen. And then finally, for our Human Design Oracle card, let's have a look. I love these cards. They were a gift from Denise, a wonderful lady and friend of mine who has a channel, and her channel is called HD with Denise Matthew. Please go and check her out. For those of you that came to the winter solstice session, you know she was there and she was awesome. All right, so our Human Design Oracle card. Oh, look at it, right? Look. Ambition and a horse, right? The gate 54. What does that tell us, right? So like I said to you, yes, there are challenges. There's fresh new challenges here. Don't let it dampen your ambition. And more importantly, the fact that we've pulled this as an oracle card or as an extra help, and it's got the horse. Horses are about freedom and liberation, and they're about chasing after what they truly want. The horse actually is a fiery, passionate animal. You know, it's stubborn and regal and beautiful. And I personally think horses are so majestic. I really do. I've got a lot of love for horses. And the fact that we have this, the gate 54, and the ambition, the word ambition, is literally saying, right, are you going to let any of these fresh challenges stop you from whatever your ambitions are driving you towards? This is a time for you to dig in, and it's a time for you to head towards what your goals and dreams are. Use this spring season to launch yourself into the next and new chapter of your life. That's what spring is all about. What is new? What is next? Right? So this is the time. And with that Death card there, this is basically saying to us, it really is time to release whatever those old things are and to embrace the fresh challenges for whatever they're going to bring us. That is how we temper this ambition. That is how we temper ourselves, right? I think the Chinese proverb says the finest men like the finest men and women, I'm going to add, the finest men and women like the finest steels have been through the hottest fires. We are, you know, sun, moon or ascendant fire signs, and it is time to use that inner fire to to drive you towards something that you truly want and desire at this moment in time. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic time of it. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Do you love it? Do you loathe it? Keep me posted. Take care, and I'll see you soon.